Right then, I got to thinking the other day, there's a lot of talk about how golf would be easier if we were hitting it a lot further. As the pros do, they smash their drivers off the tee and they hit it miles. Unfortunately, us mere mortals probably aren't going to gain 50, 60, 70 yards from nowhere. So what I'm doing today, I'm going to play off the forward tees here at La Cala. I'm going to play the 7th, the 8th and the 9th of the Europa course and see what a difference it makes whilst playing. So here I'm on the 7th now, and all the way back there, if you can make it out, 365 yards is the meter total for the white tees. I'm here on the front tees, the red tees, and this is only 295. So already I've gained 70 yards. That would be like me all of a sudden knocking it 20 past Rory McIlroy. I would think the game's going to become a lot easier from here. So what I'm going to do is peg driver up. We're going to have 3 holes, stroke play, and see if it is easier like the pros are all saying it is. So let's give it a go. Okay, so the first hole, the 7th hole for me, like I say, 295 meters, which is 325 yards. It's a blind shot, which is unfortunate because it would have been great to see where this ball lands. But straight over 325, I'd be looking, now it's a little bit into wind, but I'd be looking that I should get somewhere pretty close towards the green and make the chip pretty easy. So let's get this driver away and see what happens. Well, it's straight down the middle. Hopefully it's going to be up pretty close to the green. Okay, so positive signs early on. Ball in the middle of the fairway and the flag there. That is literally 20 yards off the front of the green. So I've only got a 30-yard pitch now. Face down towards the flag. Not bad, spun up a little bit in that wind early on. So I've got about a 15-foot putt, but already feels a little bit easier after just 2 shots. Nice little flutter of the flag in the wind all the way down to there, and we find my ball just there. So about probably 20 feet. So like I say, about 20 feet from the flag. If I was actually practicing a bit and was hitting loads of wedges, I think I probably could have got that a little bit closer. Now 20 feet, I'm going to make par pretty much all the time here, so there's no real risk of making bogey. But again, if it was, like I say, a better wedge shot, I wouldn't be faced with that. I'd have maybe a tap in. So let's find out now. Okay, so like I say there, the easiest of pars, a pretty poor wedge shot on my part. If I would have been able to get that a little bit closer, would have pretty much been a tapping birdie or a really good look at birdie. So first impressions, does distance help? Yeah, 100%. So let's head over to the 8th and see what happens as we go through. I really want to try and finish under par for this, just to prove that it, you know, it is a big help. But already just having a flick in to that hole there that normally I'd hit a full gap wedge into is a hell of a lot easier. Okay, so 498 meters for the 8th hole. Give you a view of it here. This is what we're looking at from up at the top of the white tee. It would go all the way down there. It's a par 5, and then it would start to snake out over that rock you can see there. You can just make out over here. That's where I'm going to be teeing off, and that is probably a good 60 yards in front of where I'm currently stood. So it might mean that I can just whiz driver straight over the top, and if we're playing it as a par 5, I would hope I should get birdie. If I don't, please put some comments down below just giving me a word of advice, maybe, you know, some stern advice. Just knock me down there. So let's head down there and see what the difference is. So level with the red tees now, and if you see down in the distance here, those little copse of trees there, that's pretty much what I'm going to be aiming at. Normally I'd be playing back down towards where the road is over here and letting it swing in. So now my line has totally changed off this one. So let's go and give the driver a smoke. hopefully make a 3 instead of a 4. I normally hate blind tee shots, but when that's your backdrop, it doesn't really matter that much, does it? Looked like it was on a good line, I would imagine. I'm not going to have much left into the green. Let's head down and find it. So these are becoming totally different holes for me now. Normally I just catch the top of the slope here, literally I'm looking straight back up the hill. It is predominantly downhill, this hole. I'd normally hit it to about, leave myself about 160 left in. The hole then from that tee was 460 yards, I think it was, maybe 470, and I've got 120 yards left to the flag. I've hit it, obviously it's downhill quite a bit, so I've just hit that 350, but because I could take a totally different line than I normally would. So 120, it's a par 5, remember. I'm now going in with a gap wedge, so for guys who are on tour, you know, these guys who are bombing it miles and miles, the game has got to be so much easier as opposed to hitting it back. You know, if I was going in with 8 iron to that green, I'd be pretty scared because it's well guarded, a lot of bunkers around it, a lot of the slopes, as where now with this wedge that I'm going to hit, I can just go straight at it. Leave a number. Safely aboard. Never felt easier playing a par 5 than that, just flicking driver over there and then hitting wedge in. This distance thing's brilliant, we all need more distance. So by hitting only a wedge into this par 5 now, which like I say is very guarded, all falls off down there, it would have been quite risky to go for it in 2. It might have been that you'd be up on the top of the slope, lay up and then wedge in from where I did. I'm faced with about 20 feet for eagle. So it has definitely got easier playing it for a shorter distance, or hitting it further as it would almost be classed here. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up. Ah. So a tap-in birdie gave eagle a chance, but he's so much easier playing from those forward tees. So when you see these guys bombing it on TV and the discussion is, are they hitting it too far? Personally, the way this is going at the moment, I think something might need to be done to limit the golf ball, because if you're hitting driver wedge into a par 5, it's taking the mick a little bit out of the golf courses. You need to make it a bit more for a challenge, make it more about controlling the golf ball and shaping the golf ball for these guys who are actually at the top level. For us mere mortals, give it a go actually. Try playing off the front tees at your home club. Try and get off the front, it's the farthest forward you can get on your home club, and see how you go. Let's get on to the 9th and see if I can finish this under par. Hole 9 off the front tees is 90 metres. Hole 9 off the back tees, which you can literally just see the slope of it, is 160 metres. So another 70-yard difference. So all of a sudden 160 metres, which is 176 yards, I'm thinking I'm hitting a 7-iron. Now, down to here, I think I'm going to be flicking a gap wedge. So let's go and get a gap wedge and find out. Right down the flag, not my best strike, but that's one thing as well. When you hit a poor shot, you tend to get away with it a little bit more because you're closer. So if I were to hit a poor 7-iron, it's not going to work out as well as hitting a poor 52 degree. So definitely this has been a lot easier playing from the forward tees. Let's finish this off and let's have a little summarise at the end. Okay, so is golf easier when we hit it further? I can categorically say yes. those 3 holes that I've just played, I only shot 1 under par, but it was probably the easiest 1 under par I've ever shot in my life. I think I hit probably maybe 2 or 3 good shots in there. The wedge was pretty good. I could have hit that original little pitch that I had a lot closer, which have made me, you know, 2 under par. But it's what I was going into with for my second shots. Like, that's the first hole, the 7th. Normally I hit a full wedge or full gap wedge in there. I flicked a lob wedge. You know, the chances of me hitting, you know, even missing the green with that shot aren't very high at all. I'm more likely to hit a close shot in there. The second, when I've just totally taken a different line to where I normally would, left me just a pitching wedge into a par 5 that I hit to 20 foot. Good shot, easy tap into in birdie. And then this, the 9th hole, a flicked gap wedge, and it was probably the worst shot that I hit out of all the holes there, and I was right on line with the flag, about 35 feet away from a poor shot. Just because I was a lot closer, it made my margin for error so much, it made it, sorry, when I hit a poor shot, it was nowhere near as bad as if I had a longer club in my hand. So being 70 yards or 70 meters further forwards every single time made it so much easier for me. So what I want you guys to do is get onto your courses, go to the furthest forward tee that you can get on and play off it. See if it actually changes your scores. If you play 3 or 4 rounds off there, I would reckon you probably see some huge differences. What I'm now going to do is find a friend of mine, you'll probably all know him, and we're going to play a match over 9 holes or something like that. And he's going to play off the back, or I'm going to play off the back tees, and one of us is going to play off the forward tees, and we're going to see what a difference it makes to the shots that we're hitting in, because that was just a quick experiment there. It was really interesting for me to see what a difference it made playing from those tees, and I really enjoyed it to, you know, go in with just wedges all the time. It was great. It made me feel like I could actually play the game. But give it a go, guys, see what you think. I definitely think it is such a game changer, and I think that something probably will have to be done for the pros to make it a little bit more difficult for them. Definitely for us mere mortals, no, leave it as it is. It's already a hard enough game. But for them, let's maybe think about putting the precedent on actually controlling the golf ball, not smashing it, hitting it to tight fairways, shaping shots, actually being a little bit more skillful instead of just a bit of a smash and grab game. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of a different experiment from me there. If you did, hit that like button down below. Also remember, if you want to see more videos from the channel, do hit the subscribe button. Also turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any. Lacala, thanks for having me. You've been great as always. I can't wait to get back. Guys, look out for that video coming soon of back tee versus forward tee. You're going to want to watch it. See you soon. Thanks for watching.